After applying for a job as a counsellor and being told that I would have been employed if I had a social work qualification, I had enrolled in a Masters of Social Work and quit my job as a disability employment consultant because of the discrimination and because I wanted to work as a counsellor for the rest of my life. I was receiving Austudy, and Centrelink contacted me after I had enrolled in the social work masters, informing me that I wasn't eligible for Austudy for much longer because I already had 2 undergraduate degrees and a master's, which never helped me anyway in gaining employment. So this social work qualification I saw as being my gateway to an income that would support me and my family. So then when I had to apply for jobs, I applied for many, I got 2 jobs, and I took the job that paid penalty rates. After beginning this job, 3 particular staff members were they were using a really disciplinarian approach to a resident that had challenging behaviour, always calling out. She didn't call out when she worked with me. So I'm trying to point out to them, just be nice. Be nice. Just be nice. You're not treating her nicely. That's why she's always calling out and demanding. Show her respect and kindness, and she'll show the same back to you. So this advice from me wasn't appreciated. Not at all. And further to this, one particular staff member was being openly racist towards other African staff members. So I reported this, and the first 2 times, the house supervisor was appreciative. She said, please help me change their behaviour. I know what they're like. Other staff had also said they know what these people are like, but because they work a lot, management aren't going to do anything. So then this resident with challenging behaviour, it was thought that the fastest way to get rid of her was not to approach NDIS and say, look, she needs more help. But no, the fastest way to get rid of her was to put her in hospital. So they put her in hospital. Hospital did all of these tests, and they said, nope, she's fine. She's got to go back. And all this happened over like a 3-month period. So prior to that happening, I had made, like I said, 3 reports to the house supervisor, 2 that were received with appreciation. The 3rd time, which just so happened to be when I'm feeling sleep deprived and stressed because of the way these staff members are, then she meets my 3rd report with annoyance, aggravation, and just basically tells me to like it or lump it, make an official complaint about it. So I did. And this is where the situation was that if I didn't report what I saw, I could get into trouble for not reporting it. However, reporting it, I got into trouble for reporting it, basically. The organisation got in a ex-police officer to investigate the situation, I don't know what happened as a result of that investigation. Nobody told me. I remained with that organisation for a total of nearly 12 months. The final breaking point was when a staff member, I got moved to another house because the house where I was lost that resident. They lost $400,000 a year, which according to the manager, was impacting how much food they could buy for all the residents. It would be good if she could come back, and then all the staff are saying no, she doesn't want to come back, plus all the staff didn't want her to come back. So basically nobody's dealing with any of the problems, and basically nobody wants to take any advice. Nobody wants to try a different approach. Everybody just wants to stick to their authoritarian approach and can't be bothered dealing with the situation. That's just what it appeared as. So I've been moved to another house, and this person that I'm working with, who I had met from my second week or third week working, who I don't know, he seemed like one of these undercover agents, the undercover boss or whatever. But he was also working at the house that I got moved to. And my final breaking point was when he kept asking me why I was advocating using a human rights framework approach with challenging behaviour. And I was sleep deprived again because of the shift hours that you work as a disability support worker. And I just said, basically, look, you can use an authoritarian approach with challenging behaviour and you might get the result you want. Or you can use the human rights framework approach and you'll get the same outcome as what you do with an authoritarian approach. So if they both derive the same outcome, you should use the human rights approach because it's more humane. And he just went off his head. He just oh my God, he was just accusing me of just being the most terrible human being on the face of the earth for advocating disability rights. So, okay, this was the final breaking point. I called my house supervisor. I said I was scared. He wasn't behaving as normal, blah, blah, blah. At that time, I'd also applied for a job at the head office because I wanted to work like a 9-to-5 job, and I didn't get that job. And so, I quit. And during all of this time, the previous CEO of the place that discriminated against me after she worked there as CEO was working as a Secretary of Public Health. So, okay. Where I was at that point was the organisation where I was a disability support worker. There were so many indications that, one, they were aware of my spent conviction, which I didn't have any legal obligation in disclosing to them. Number two, if they received information about my spent conviction, they should have informed me. It's my legal right to know if they have received that information when I applied for a police check. And then number three, if they have accessed my medical reports associated with my spent conviction for ecstasy, over 23 years ago, they have accessed that illegally. And I know that they had that information because of the following events at my children's sports club.